Kaden here for Hobby Boom Tech. So we have the JBL and the Nyne Rebel. So let's get started.
Alrighty guys, so that was my daughter Kaden. She's been begging me to be in one of my videos, so there it was. Like she said, we have the JBL Xtreme up against the Nyne Rebel that I did a video on Saturday. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with what the Nyne Rebel has to offer. Definitely like it way more than the Nyne Rock. The Nyne Rock is just too much on the bass. It drowns out pretty much everything else, and over 70-75% you just get a ton of distortion. That has not been the case with the Rebel. The Rebel is actually pretty clean sounding, and the bass is nice and deep. Carries pretty far, and even at max volume you don't get much distortion, just very minimal. You have to be pretty close to the unit to actually pick it up. Very nice highs, pretty clear. The only real downfall for the sound, for me at least, is that it is lacking a little bit in the mids. So you can tell that something's missing a little bit when you're listening to it. It's mostly just highs and lows. Other than that, it's got 8 to 10 hours battery life. It is a lot bigger than the JBL Xtreme, as you can tell. It's probably twice the size of the JBL Xtreme, two put together and then some. Definitely heavier, not as easy to carry around as the JBL Xtreme. JBL Xtreme is going to be easy to throw into a backpack, or just throw the strap over your shoulder and go. With the Nyne Rock or the Nyne Rebel, you can probably get into a backpack. It's gonna have to be a little bit on the larger side. However, you're definitely gonna know that it's in there. It's kind of this awkward looking shape. So yeah, not quite as portable as the JBL Xtreme, and the battery life isn't quite as good either, at about 10 hours versus the Xtreme 15 hours. Rugged wise, they both are water resistant, so they can both take a splash, both can take a drop and probably be fine. Sound wise, power wise, I mean, they're both 40 watts, rated at 40 watts. So they're probably going to be pretty equivalent. We'll definitely test that out in the sound test. I was planning on doing an outdoor test, however it is really windy out there, so it's just going to be a mess trying to record. So we're just going to do an indoor test tonight, and then some other time I'll go ahead and take both of them out to the outdoors and get a feel for what they sound like outdoors. Other than that, guys, if you want more information on either one of these speakers, be sure to check out the description, where I'll put links to some other videos where I've gone more in depth on the JBL Xtreme's features, and then I'll put the link to my last week's video where I kind of went over more of the features of the Nyne Rebel. But without further ado, guys, let's get started with a sound test.
And we chillin' on the west, we're Oakland, no smoking it. Anywhere that we feel, but we out in it. Can't sit still, bro, yeah, we rowdin' it. Ooh, running on again for real. Pocket from the window to the wall to the ceiling. Oh, I'm a size, but I'm about to make a killing. my birthday down the right, down the right. Up on my birthday down the right, down the right. Yeah, oh my, down the right, down the right. Up on my birthday down the right, right.
Roll up with the windows up, I'm still sipping whiskey from the solo cup. She down for whatever, cause she know what's up. I'm like rolling up the one, she said, oh yeah, yeah, looking out for the rollers. Pass it to the left, I'm looking over my shoulders. Always had a chick, guess it's more so about her. I'm always too on, you'll never see me sober. Yeah, she to $1 million, but I do it first. Rap money stacking lots of yaper. I feel like 06, hot box and scraper, yeah.
Turn it up in a hot box. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Light it up in a hot box. Light it up, pour it up in a hot box. Pour it up, pour it up, pour it up, wellness in a hot box. Up on my birthday down the right, down the right. Up on my birthday down the right, down the right. Yeah, oh my, down the right, down the right. Up on my birthday down the right, right. We're gonna party and get on in the smoke. We can go roll, baby, get faded and blow. I'll take you places never thought you would be. Baby, let's hotbox, bring a drink in the trees. Oh, in a hotbox, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Light it up in a hotbox. Light it up, pour it up in a hotbox. Pour it up, baby, in a hotbox. Up on my birthday down the right, down the right. Up on my birthday down the right, down the right. Yeah, oh my, down the right, down the right. Up on my birthday down the right, right.
All right, guys, so that was the sound test. Overall, I kind of like the sound a little bit better on the Nyne Rebel, although it is missing those mids. Like I said, they're just not really there. It's all highs and all lows. It's much punchier, whereas the JBL Xtreme is a lot more boomy, and you really notice it as you increase the volume. The JBL Xtreme really starts to struggle with the more complicated tracks and with the bass, whereas the Nyne Rock really didn't have that problem. Even at max, the bass just sounded really deep, really punchy. The highs were nice and crisp. If it had that mids, it would definitely be a very good speaker. Even with that said, I still think it's a really good speaker, much better than the Nyne Rock. The Nyne Rock is just all bass and pretty much nothing else. Loudness wise, the JBL did seem to get a little bit louder, but it's definitely a lot more harsh than what you were hearing on the Nyne Rebel. The Nyne Rebel didn't really hurt my ears, didn't get harsh like the Xtreme does at max volume. That being said, there's other things you got to really consider when you're looking at these two. One, portability. The other is price. The Nyne Rebel was at $179. Now it's jumped up to $229, so that could be a little bit more than you want to pay. Whereas the JBL Xtreme, you can roughly get it for the same price as the Rebel on sale, or sometimes even cheaper. And like I said, it's definitely more portable. And even though it doesn't sound quite as good at the max volumes, at the lower volumes, it sounds still plenty good to me. It's still a great speaker, and I would not hesitate to pick that up if you were considering that one. But that being said, the Nyne Rebel is definitely no slouch. It definitely came to compete, and I think Nyne did a really great job with this speaker, much better than the Nyne Rock, like I said. But anyway, guys, be sure to come back on Saturday, where I will be checking out the newly released Amazon Tap. If you're not familiar with that speaker, it's the follow-up to the Amazon Echo, which came out a little bit over a year ago. I've had the Amazon Echo since it came out, and honestly, it's one of the few products that I own that has actually gotten better with time. Its only real downfall for me was the sound wasn't the best, and it's got to be plugged into the wall. The Amazon Tap has all the features of the Amazon Echo, but now it's portable. So be sure to come back on Saturday when we check that speaker out. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm really excited about this one. But anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you on Saturday. Thanks. Bye.